I might have just created the heaviest mix I've ever gotten in my 25-year career in recording. And what's more, I did it with an amp sim. The crazy thing is, that was done on the new guitar rig using some default settings. All right, okay, I'm sure you guys are well familiar with Guitar Rig. They've been around forever. And as far as amp sims go, you know, I always kind of liked the effects. I thought they did that really great. I thought the reverbs and delays and the choruses and all that stuff was really, really great. But when it came to the actual amp tones, it's like, oh, for sakes, come on, guys, are you serious? It's like all the amp sims' little brother, you know, it's like, yeah, you tried. Nicely done, nicely done. But I would have never, ever considered putting it on a client's record because, let's face it, they kind of dropped the ball for the longest fucking time. So when they reached out to me and asked, hey, Glenn, you want to demo the new guitar rig? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll see what I can do. I thought, okay, let's throw it up on a mix I'm working on and see what we get. And I was just like, fuck me! Holy shit! What the fuck is that? I can't believe this is Guitar Rig. This sounds fucking great. Now here's why this might be interesting to you guys. Here's the relevant bit. Native Instruments bought iZotope, and that gets them access to all of that iZotope tech. Now, iZotope has been crushing it with the RX series of noise reduction stuff. I mean, there's just none better. And Ozone, that's one of my personal favorite mastering programs. I use that everywhere, all over the place. So now Native Instruments has access to all that machine learning stuff, and now they can do amp sims that sound fucking great. Oh yeah, that just feels absolutely great. I love the tone I'm getting from this. That's the Van 51 amp sim, which is pretty much their take on the 5150. I mean, yeah, it's the gold standard for modern metal. Nobody's going to argue with that. Now, what's really got me impressed here is the cabinet IR loader, and that's always kind of been the weak point with so many different amp sims from so many different brands, was they were weak on the cabs. And what I'm running here are my free 2023 vintage 30s that I gave away at the beginning of the year. And it loads them up, no problem. Everything just works great. The thing I love about this is the air control. If you guys are using headphones or listening on studio monitors or whatnot, you know, we can go dead center mono here. And if you're just jamming by yourself, you want kind of a stereo effect, you just crank up the air control. And that's just built right into the IR loader. That's a really cool feature. That's something I like an awful lot. Now, the thing I really love about this is they didn't do their IRs in-house. They went to people who actually know how to make impulse responses and made them available as well. You can get some from 3 Sigma. They've got a bunch of Bogren ones. They've got some Akolas, and they've even got some of the old Lancaster ones that were, I think the Alex Nasla did these at the Hollywood studio back in, you know, like 2018, 2019, something like that. So those are on there as well. Very cool indeed. Those are built right in. It's like, oh, I wish more companies would do something like that. Whenever might that happen? Yeah, stay tuned for that. As I said earlier, one of Guitar Rig's greatest strengths has been the built-in effects. I mean, like, I've just got the simple twin delay thrown on for some lead effects. Killer stuff, you know, it's just drag and drop. If you want to move stuff around, you can do that. You know, there's a whole bunch of different distortion options. There's just so many components to go through and try out. The list is pretty freaking serious. That's for sure. Now, next up, I've got this hot plexi setup, and this comes with a matched cabinet, and I gotta say, they're not half bad at all. Yeah, you got to be an old school Priest fan to know that riff, that's for sure. But yeah, it definitely does the thing. Yeah, I mean, like, now I get a lot of you guys are into the modern metal thing, might not dig that kind of tone, and that's absolutely fine. But, you know, it's worth checking out some of the lower gain settings, that's for sure. The other thing that really blew me away here, we're going to go back into 5150 land for a minute here, is we've got one of the really cool components that they've added on here is the chainsaw. Check this out. Oh my God, that is just glorious. That's part of what I used on the full mix, and that's helped me get such a grinding, heavy as fuck tone. Now, for all you moaners out there who tuned into a metal channel for all the clean tone, well, hey, here you go. That's just one of many presets. Once again, I love the sound of that reverb. It's so smooth. They really did a bang up job on that. I definitely recommend downloading the demo and checking out a bunch of the different presets and finding something that works to your taste. That's one that just kind of came out. I thought, hey, that's kind of neat with the little triangle LFO, whatever the fuck that is. But I thought it was kind of a neat tremolo effect. And one more preset I made here is using the hot plexi once more, but this time with my own custom IRs. And that's using the fuzz. And this is just way too much fun. That is just super cool. That really does the fuzz thing well. I think they nailed the hot plexi thing. Not sure if I'm digging my own custom IR more than the one that's built in, but hey, there's options available. Now, just one more thing about the custom IRs. We do have the match cabinet thing going on here. It's a little bit bright, not too bad, but you know, you got this nice slider for, you know, a close mic. You got a little room tone or maybe a little less. And then down here, they've got the whole Control Room Pro setup, so you can go through their IR, change out your different cabinets, different microphones, different mic positions. You know, they've got a ton of options there, and you can play with it and do a whole bunch of different ones, and it looks like it loads up like 8 impulse responses. Like, that's just mental. So you can really tweak to your heart's content. Myself personally, I'd rather go with the third-party IRs because I know that shit's going to sound great. And then, thankfully, they've got a lot of cool stuff built in. And if you don't like any of those, I highly recommend checking out my free ones as well. Once again, I'll have links for that at the end of the video. Of course, the big strength of any amp sim, in my opinion anyway, is how well it sounds in a mix. Sure, you can sit there and play guitar by yourself and dial in cool tones, but I'm sure a lot of you guys want to write music and you want something that's going to work great in the context of a mix. Check this out. Bottom line, guys, Native Instruments blew me away with this one. I think Guitar Rig has finally matured. I think it's a viable platform, not only for medium gain, but for the really heavy gain stuff as well. I mean, like, it just sounds fantastic. Just taking a real close look at that guitar sound I got on that mix. All I got are 2 different instances of Guitar Rig. I got 4 rhythm tracks going here, and 2 are going on the Van 51 with the match cabinet, and that's using the Screamer, and then I've got the next two going with the chainsaw, like I said, which just absolutely blew me away. And then I'm using Control Room Pro with just a 57 and a modern 4x12 cabinet here. And that was super easy to get that tone. And that's just a couple of tweaks and nothing weird going on in post. I mean, like I'm doing a little bit of the Pultec low end thing. If you didn't see my video on the Tagler, I'll have a link to that at the end of this video if you want to see what that guitar, how to get that kind of guitar sound. It's pretty freaking cool, that's for sure. It's kind of my secret weapon on my guitar bus. It just sounds amazing. But it's really, you can do some replication in software as well. And I'm going to have a couple of tutorials on how to do that coming up in the very near future. But bottom line here, Native Instruments really stepped up their game. They took a look at the awesome stuff coming out from all these other vendors and said, hey, you know what? We better get our shit together. And I can happily report to you guys that, yeah, they really did do a phenomenal job on it. Now, if you want to get your hands on it, you can find it over at Sweetwater. It's going for 199 bucks. They've also got an upgrade deal if you've got an earlier version of it. You can also find it online at Thomann. I'm going to have links for everything in the description below. And of course, if you don't want to spend any money, you want to see what it's all about, you can go download the demo and it'll work for 30 minutes and everything in the demo works. It's just you're going to have to restart your DAW every half hour. But it should give you a good idea what it's capable of and what kind of tones it can get. What are you sitting there watching me for? Go check it out. You've got nothing to lose. Go check out the demo. Go see if it works in your workflow. Go see if it gets you the kind of tones you want to hear. Links for everything in the description below. And if you guys want to see a little bit more on how I EQ guitars for a full mix, you can check out that video right here.